This is going to be my MLB trade deadline reactions. I said I might take a separate video on it, but I'm just going to make this live. If you join, you join. If not, you'll see it after the fact, like every live video usually is. So, man, what a day. Yesterday and today, the MLB trade deadline is always crazy. It started off, with a couple moves here and there, and then it just went crazy last night into today. You had a Eugenio Suarez going back to the Mariners. You had the Phillies kind of shoring up their bullpen, getting Johan Duran, also getting Harrison Bader. You had the Mets getting Ryan Helsley and Cedric Mullins. You had the A's trading Mason Miller and J.P. Sears to the Padres. Padres also traded for Freddie Furman from the Royals. They traded for O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano from the O's. They traded for Nestor Cortez. So the Padres, I think, win this deadline 100%. You also had teams, that maybe didn't get too many players, but the Rangers ended up getting Merrill Kelly. D-backs traded for Naylor earlier in the week. Dustin May goes to the Red Sox. The Dodgers didn't do much. The Cardinals, as I stated, traded away Helsley. The Blue Jays got Shane Bieber, which was pretty interesting. And then what other ones am I missing? There's some pretty other big ones. There was a lot today. The Twins just cleaned house. Griffin Jacks got traded. Willie Castro to the Cubs. You had Carlos Correa going back to the Astros. You had the Reds getting Ke'Bryan Hayes and Zach Littell. You had the Yankees. The Yankees made some big moves. The Yankees went and acquired Camilo Duvall, David Bednar, Jake Bird, Jose Caballero from the Rays. They also acquired Ryan McMahon earlier this week, as well as Ahmed Rosario. They also traded for... No, I already said that. So that was all the Yankees. I really thought the Red Sox were going to get Joe Ryan. Be honest with you guys. It looked like they had him down to that minute, but nothing really went through. But then again, you had names like Luis Robert didn't get moved. Sandy Alcantara didn't get moved. Other people like Zach Gallen didn't get moved. There were a lot of names that did not get moved in this trade deadline. I would have to say probably the biggest disappointment right now is Boston and Chicago, because while Chicago did get Willie Castro and they did get a couple bullpen pieces, they didn't get anybody for the rotation. They didn't get any pitchers, unfortunately. What else? But then you had guys move that were very odd. Like Charlie Morton, I figured was getting moved, but the team he went to the Tigers, which I don't really understand. You had guys like Andrew Kittredge and Andrew Chafin, Luis Garcia. There were many names that got moved that I kind of understood, but there were a lot of names that did get moved that should have. Zach Gallen being one of them, for sure. The Pirates, they traded pieces away. They did something. The Royals got Yastrzemski. The Royals got Grichuk. They got Bailey Falter. So it was a really good trade deadline. I can't think of all the names. I'm going to write down names and do like an overall grade or for each team, but I probably won't do that. Instead, I'll probably just do like my favorite moves and then some moves I didn't like and then like which moves I think should have been made. But I wanted to give you guys my overall reactions on the trade deadline today. It's nuts as always every year. I mean, there were names that got moved that I didn't really even expect. I think Carlos Correa going back to the Astros was talked about a lot, but did not happen. Or was talked about a lot, but was not looking likely, but then was finally happening. So that was pretty crazy. I think Eugenio Suarez to the Mariners is someone that I probably saw the Mariners getting him, but I also really thought for a while there the Tigers would. But I mean, I think it was a solid trade deadline. I think teams did what they needed to do. I think other teams should have done more. The trade deadline is now over, and people are gonna have their thoughts on all these different trades and stuff. But yeah, it was a decent trade deadline for sure, for sure. I'm happy. I think a lot of teams made some really good moves today. I really don't understand what the Twins did selling everyone else, but then holding on to Joe Ryan. I don't really understand that as much as I don't understand the Padres not trading Dylan Cease. But the Red Sox traded for Steven Matz, and they traded for Dustin May. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here, give my quick thoughts for the trade deadline. If you're watching now, go ahead and give a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. If you're watching this after the stream is live, same thing. Like, comment, subscribe. And the next video will be my movie review for Together. Saw that yesterday. You're going to want to hear my thoughts on that. And then Monday, we will be coming out with moves I liked, moves I didn't like, and players I think should have gotten moved at this year's MLB trade deadline. As always, hope you guys have a good night. It was a long one today. It was crazy, and that's how the trade deadline always is. But like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later.